and let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll.
This is episode 7 of Food, Fitness, and Fun with Dre and JD. So, we got some topics. Let's dive right in. Let's talk about something you wanted to discuss: fake fat pride.
You gonna start right there?
Yeah,
Let's do
listen,
it.
let's get crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, fake fat pride. You know what fake fat pride is? This notion of people who are obviously overweight, usually in the obese category, and now there's this, especially with women, there's this like, this is my body. I'm so proud of it. I'm happy. I'm living in my body, and I'm just
living my best life.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna show it to the world, and I'm so happy about that. And the reason why, and it's like, okay, that's all good, sure,
right,
whatever. But the reason why, whatever.
I'm out. Forget this podcast. I'm out.
Nah, seriously. The reason why I call it fake fat pride is those same people.
Right.
Think about anybody you know, personally, or even like a celebrity or whatever. When they start losing weight, for whatever reason, they never want to go back to that fat ass they used to be.
Okay.
Never. So I'm trying to think of some cats. And I don't know people's names. It's messed up. But I remember Jennifer Hudson, right? The singer.
Yeah.
Right? Remember she was like mad, big, blah, blah, blah. And, happy to be big. Then she did whatever, started losing a lot of weight. And she came out, I feel so much better. I love my new body, blah, blah, blah. Even Oprah Winfrey, like through the years, we've seen big Oprah and small Oprah.
Right. Oprah.
Yeah. Anytime she loses weight, she's always like, man, I feel so much better. I feel good about, how I look now. I can do more things. I have more energy, et cetera, et cetera. And so the reason I'm calling it fake fat pride is because it's like, yo, you only saying that because you really don't want to put the work in to change. Now, if you're truly happy about being overweight, especially like obese, and we know, just putting aside all the diseases and health risk associated with being obese, just how do you feel about yourself? It's fake because you really don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to disguise what you might really feel. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I know if I could like do like this and have you lose that weight, you would never want to go back there. Name one person that you know, either personally or some sort of celeb or whatever, who was fat, got small, and regretted it. The only person I can think of is Slim Bob. And that's
Slim Bob. They don't even know about Slim Bob.
And that's a video game character.
There, son.
You know what I mean? That's the only dude who was like, oh man, I'm slim.
My man. All right, real quick, before I respond to all the shit you said, let's give him a little bit of backstory on Slim Bob. So for those who play the video games, there's a game called Tekken. And there's a character, his name is Bob. Bob is this massive dude. What's Bob, like 6'5"?
Yeah, he's
tall.
That tall. Yeah,
he's really, really big. Characters. Got a lot of width on him, a lot of girth, if you will. And, Tekken is like this tournament or whatever, similar to like a Street Fighter or a Mortal Kombat situation. And at one point, when you win the game with Bob, his ending is he just wakes up feeling weird, just all groggy. Oh man, I feel weird. He steps on the scale, he looks down, what? 150 pounds? And Bob has lost all this massive weight from being so active and fighting in the tournament. And what happens is Bob, and actually you wrong, because after that there is no more Slim Bob. In the next game,
he's back to being fat. So in the game, Slim Bob is a bonus character, if you remember. You just don't get. So you start off with
Slim Bob is a bonus character, and he hates himself.
But yeah, you start off with Fat Bob, and when you win the game with Big Fat Ass Bob, then you see like his journey of him beating everybody ass in the Tekken tournament. And as you said, because he was so active for all these people, he looks up one day and is like, "What the hell? I'm slim now." You know what I'm saying? And he's in good shape, but he hates it. And now that opens up.
So you're right, because you said that was one person the only person who hated it. You're right.
Right. And so it's like
so in the game. Go ahead. Go.
Now you play the game. The next time you play, you can play with this character called
the next
Slim
game.
Bob.
It wasn't even that game. It was the next game. I think it was like Tekken Tag.
No, it was that game. It's just you had to open up that character. It was locked.
No, Slim Bob was a pickable character the next game.
It's irrelevant. It's completely.
Anyway, whatever. The point is, he hates himself, and when you play the game, even when you like select him, he's like, "I'm all skin and bones now."
Skin and bones.
And when he's fighting, even when he wins, he's like, "Man, I don't have the power I used to have."
And what's interesting since you brought it up, when you do his fat moves like a belly bounce or whatever,
he falls. He'll fall backwards,
and there's no there's
no power behind it.
There's no damage on your opponent. Your opponent's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
You're right. You're right. Because he got this move. For those who don't know, he got this move that's like he just hits you with his belly. He just like pops his belly forward, and the opponent goes flying across the arena. And then when he's Slim Bob, the opposite kind of happens. He tries to hit you, you go a little further, and he goes way over there, and it does like no damage.
It'd be dope if you could insert that video inside this. You know what I'm saying? If you knew how to.
I might could do that. Yeah. I might could put a little clip in the video of Slim Bob
little trail
falling backwards.
Yeah, little 5 seconds and nothing. You know?
I might could do that. We could definitely do it for a promo clip.
Yeah.
Definitely a cool promo clip. Anyway, Slim Bob. Bob did hate himself after losing all the weight, and that was a video game character.
And
so now let me respond to some of this stuff.
To real people.
To real people, right. First, I'm going to respond, and then I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate. So my response is, and it ties into playing devil's advocate, I think you're right in a sense. I think that there is a bit of fake pride behind it. And I think it has to do with a lot of the body shaming and a lot of the hate towards larger people. And the reason is because for many years there was a trend in this country of like, you got to be slim. You got to be thin. You know, this like 80s super pencil thin model physique. And I think that what's happening now is we see a surge of the opposite. And I think the reason is people have realized that you should love yourself no matter what size you are. And we should accept models of all colors, creeds, and sizes. So I think that's number one.
Right. Number
two is, I think that for some people it's not fake. I think some people never fails. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're even louder than the motorcycle.
That was the point, mocking them. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think the other thing is, motorcycle made me lose my train of thought a little bit. Oh, so I think the other thing is, people have become comfortable in their skin, and people have begun to get to know themselves better. I think that people are starting to accept the same messages that society is starting to put out, where we have people like an Ashley Graham. Ashley Graham, I believe that's her name, is this model who she's known as a plus size model. There's a dark skinned woman. I don't know her name. I wish I did. Maybe I'll put it in the description. Maybe I'll, if I could look it up when I put this video out, I'll put it in the description. But there's also a really dark skinned, gorgeous woman, and she's also a plus size model. And I think that people are starting to see images and people on Vogue and these other magazines. You know, I don't know the magazines, so please don't kill me in the comments. But I think people are starting to see these other images and saying, like, man, that person looks like me. I can, if they can be on the cover of blank magazine, I can too. You know, if they could be almost naked and just be like this on the cover, you know, with everything showing,
Right.
then man, I should feel good about myself too. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, I think, to play devil's advocate, and then I have a third thing I'd like to say. To play devil's advocate, I think there's also a lot of fake slim pride. I think that 80s mentality of models, or 70s, I don't know exactly when it started, but I know when I was young in the 90s, it was this huge thing of like, you got to be so slim, and that's what's sexy, being basically a fucking pencil, right? I'm not a fan of that pencil shit, but that was a huge thing. And I think what it caused is a lot of societal pressures for women to try to become, or not even women, but just people, because it's not just women, even dudes. It's like, you got to be the Calvin Klein model. Like, even in Fight Club, they want some, like, hey, you know, the bus scene, they're like riding the bus and they just point up at the Calvin Klein poster and they're like, is that what a man looks like? And it's a good question. You know, it's like, yo, is that what we're supposed to be? We're supposed to be these fucking pencils. So I think that what it caused is a lot of things. We got like, what is it? What's the name of the shit where you like there's food disorders, you know, there's people who feel like I have to be slim.
Yeah.
I have to keep up this thing. What's the name of the shit where you like
Anorexia.
throw up?
Anorexia.
Right. And then there's like anorexia. And I think that all of these things are byproducts of that time. I think for a long time we saw the byproducts of fake slim pride. I think for a long time in public, people were like, oh yeah, girl, you know, I'm a size 0. And that is how it's supposed to be. Right. You see the same way you rolling your eyes? That's how I feel too. But that there was a lot of that shit where it was like, well, you know, you got to be a size 0. Oh, what, you a size 8? Oh, girl, you fat. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that shit was fake too. I think really deep down inside, and we've seen this over the years where models are coming out and saying like, yeah, you know, they forced me not to eat. They told me I had to do, if I wanted to do this shoot, all I could drink was these slim fast drinks and, you know, shit like that. But I mean, it's true though. Like, we see more and more reports coming out of these older traumatized models and people in the fashion industry and shit like that, who are just like, hey, I was abused because I had to fit this status quo. Yeah. So I think that so now my third response is, I think there's a lot of fake pride in America, period. I think we have a lot of opposites and extremes in this country. Even when you lose weight as a person, what's the first thing people start telling you? Like, oh man, you starting to get skinny. You looking good. But what if I'm skinny? What if I'm losing weight rapidly because I'm sick? What if I'm becoming a pencil because I can't keep anything down?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And it's like the same thing. When you're this super skinny person and you start putting weight on, you hear the opposites. Like, oh, man, Dre, you was like really looking sick before. But now, like, you starting to look good, man. Like, your face is starting to fill up. You're looking good. It's all fake shit. I think we have this really fake sense of pride in America, which there's a lot of fake pride in America. I could probably do a whole podcast on that shit. But I think that it is fake for a lot of people. And I think a lot of the pride in this country is fake. I think a lot of people put on a facade because of societal pressures and societal where it's like, oh, but I gotta look like this. Like, even working out, we do a lot of working out topics. In the gym, there's quote unquote norms. There's quote unquote pressure to have like a big chest or big arms or no stomach. But that's not how it is for everyone. Like, you work out to look one way. I work out to look another way. Some people are just trying to stay healthy and, you know, keep the weight off. You know, everyone has different goals and things. And I think that in this country, I think one of the problems is, instead of looking in and trying to truly be prideful of who we are, what we've endured, what we were able to move past, what we were able to accomplish, we bend and break because of these societal norms, because of these pressures. So you feel like, well, I'm overweight or underweight. I'm extreme in one category, right? There's extremes. I mean, honestly, a lot of people in this country are obese. It's like, what, 60% of us now? I don't know their stats right now, but a lot of people in this country are obese. But there's a lot of people on the opposite side of the spectrum where it's like, I look like this and I hate myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we are not loving who we truly are. So what we do is like, all right, well, I got to go hang out with the fellas. You know, my shirt is fitting way snugger than I want it to because I'm overweight and my favorite shirt don't fit the same anymore. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put on this facade. I'm going to put on my snug shirt, even though it's like a 2X. And I'm going to go outside. And when Dre be like, man, you feeling brave today? I'm going to be like, yeah, son. I'm brave because so what? I love my body. This is who I am. You should love me too. Exactly. Motorcycle exclamation point.
All right. So I agree with most of what you're saying, but
Holler at me while I sip some water.
Go for it. But I'm focusing on the fake fat pride. But yes, is there fakeness throughout society? Yes. Are there people who have problems with keeping weight on because they're naturally quote unquote skinny? Sure. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about you know, not accepting yourself, because I agree with all that. I feel like, yo, you need to, love who you are no matter what shape or form you're in.
Right.
But the reason why I'm calling it fake fat pride specifically, because what I'm saying is I don't know one person who was fat and lost the weight. And I don't mean that they went extremely skinny and they had to hurt themselves. Let's just keep it real.
Okay.
Yourself, right?
You
used to be way bigger. People can look at your videos right here on your channel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it'd be like, that's JD. Like, now you've been that big, right? Where it's like, yo, 2X, 3X. I don't, like you was going up, and you made a decision. It's like, all right, I don't want to be this big anymore. And it wasn't overnight. You took your time. You dedicated yourself. You lost the weight, and you say all the time, I'm never going back there.
Right.
I'm never going back there. And you're not alone. That's why I'm calling it fake fat pride. It's because when people make that decision to lose the weight, 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, they all say, I never want to go back to that. They look at old pictures, old videos. I never want to go back to that person again. And so the other thing that I'm saying is that, you're right. Like, people come in all spectrums and all that, and it's all fake and blah, blah, blah. But in terms of fake fat pride, it's like, I'm focusing on that because I'm also saying, well, what about, diabetes and all these other health concerns that come when somebody is grossly obese? I think that this sense of like, oh yeah, love yourself and then stop. That's it. No, you don't have to do anything.
Oh, so you're talking about like the 600-pound life cats,
right? Or you don't even have to be that. I mean, that's a huge extreme. But for someone to look at themselves, I don't mean like, okay, yeah, you got normal body weight, but someone to look at the example I'm really thinking about. I think a few days ago, Lizzo put out these videos.
That's what I thought you were going to speak about.
Right. She put
because
out these videos.
She has been a person waving the big girl flag, quote unquote.
Right. And so
she's been losing weight and grinding, and it's been a few months now of this. And when it first started, a lot of the people who are supportive of her and her movement of the quote unquote big girl community, not big girl community, of the quote unquote like happy to be big community, they were reactive to the fact that she was posting these videos, and they were like, "Oh, girl, but you was one of us. What happened? Like, why you leaving?"
And so this is what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Where it's like, no, and she was right. She's like
Yeah,
posting and being fat is great, and I'm just gonna
right,
eat and love eating, and I'm gonna eat all this food. Like
right,
these like 2,000 calories is just breakfast, mofo. Like I'm about to go in,
right.
and that's really like unhealthy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
And so when you say, "Oh yeah, I'm so happy about it," that's fake. You're not. And that's what I'm saying. It's like that's fake fat pride. And it's better to be honest with yourself, look at yourself and be like, okay, you know what? I'm not saying I need to lose 300 pounds, but this my weight right now is unsustainable. I can't bend down to tie my shoes. I can't reach certain things around my body. I'm way too big. And
Uh-huh.
that shit is fake. Like, stop being fake with be honest with yourself. Just like you say, okay, love yourself and all that, true. But at the same time, be real with yourself. Look at yourself and be like, okay, you know what? This is this is not what I want. I'm not trying to be perfect, but I definitely know I
Uh-huh.
can get better. And I think that's where she's going. And most people who are super duper overweight, they know that, you know. But it's like,
Right.
well, either you're going to put the work in to watch your diet and to move around a little more, or you're not. And I think that fake fat pride is another excuse to just not put the work in.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of things are masks. Period. I think a lot of people wear masks to hide their imperfections, and I think a lot of people are doing it really not for themselves, but like I said, for those societal norms to keep up with the images and the pressures of society. Um, I kind of disagree a little bit. I think if you're happy with your size and you're healthy, then it's nothing wrong with being happy about it. Now, I do think, as I said last podcast, self-awareness is very important. There are levels to overweight, right? I'm overweight right now. You know what I'm saying? I weigh about 200 pounds. I'm not supposed to weigh 200 pounds. I'm working on it because I'm self-aware and I have goals, but I'm not 600 pounds. Like, I'm not on my 600-pound life saying I can't get off the
And you're
couch
not,
without assistance.
and you're not where you were, right?
And I'm not where I was, right? But what I'm saying is, I don't think there's anything wrong with if right now I said, hey, I'm just going to maintain 200 and I'm
And
cool with that.
yeah, that would be dope.
I don't think there's
That would be
anything
dope.
wrong with that.
And that would be
But
dope.
I think that self-awareness is what's important. If I made a conscious decision to say, yo, I'm happy at 200 and I'm going to work to maintain 200. I don't want to go higher. I don't want to go lower. I like where I'm at. I'm happy in my fat body. Am I fat? Technically, yes. I am overweight by about 50 pounds according to all the stuff that is documented. Now, again, what I'm saying is there are levels. If I was 350 like I was once upon a time, it's a little different. Now you on that borderline where it's like, well, you could be happy, but you're really flirting with the I'm going to be sick line. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate. When I was 350, I had a clean bill of health. No diabetes, even though I was busting down ice cream all the fucking time. No high blood pressure. I didn't have any issues. No. And a lot of the things that came with being obese, I didn't have any of them. Although I was going to the doctor regularly, all they said was, "Listen, man, you flirting with the line. You really want to get into some weight loss. You really need to bring that weight down." I don't think that that's a bad thing if you are conscious and happy. I kind of disagree. Now, again, there are levels, and you need to maintain self-awareness throughout those levels. If you're 450, if you're 350, and you have health issues, even does I mean the number is subjective. If I was 200 right now and I went for a regular checkup and they said, "Hey, listen, man, You flirting with the line. If you're not careful, you're definitely going to get some diabetes. Your blood pressure is way higher than it needs to be. Now it's time to say, all right, I am happy with where I'm at, but my health is at risk. I may not be here to see my daughter's high school graduation if I'm not careful. That changes things. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're comfortable where you're at, stay there. I mean, for me, that's part of fitness goals. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want to be 100 pounds dripping wet. Some people, and the opposite. There's some people who are bodybuilders and they weigh 350. I mean, they're happy being 350. They in a G-string flexing. Oh, you know, they flexing, but you're not supposed to weigh 350. So, I mean, because it's muscle that changes the game, I don't know. But I feel like if you're happy where you at, cool, but also be conscious of where you are. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I agree that you need to be conscious and self-aware always, no matter what size you are, whether you're 50 pounds underweight or 100 pounds overweight. I think you have to always remain conscious and aware of who you are and what's going on with you. But I don't think there's anything wrong with being happy at a size if you're truly happy. That's the little asterisk I'm going to put there.
And that's the only thing I'm saying is that show me one person, because I could show you plenty of people who said, I'm happy being fat. I love being fat. This is great. This is awesome. And then somehow on the back end, they started to lose weight. And
right.
They never fucking went back there. And that's
but you don't think that. But you don't think that sometimes people change their mind?
Oh, people change their mind all the time. But what I'm saying is, when you originally said that shit, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No.
Okay.
I don't. But when you originally, oh yeah, I love being fat. This is fucking awesome. This is great. No, because I want to see just one case where a person was just like, you know, I lost weight. Maybe it was for a role or whatever, and it's like, man. Now, if you're super skinny, you just like, yo, I used to have like muscle and I used to feel good. And you got super skinny, you feel like shit. Of course, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a person who is visually really overweight, but saying they love it and they're eating a Twinkie and like, I just love this. I'm gonna have a pizza after this mofo. This is awesome. This is great. And then behind the scenes, whatever reason, something happens, whatever, they start losing weight.
Okay.
They never want to go fucking back there. And that's why I call it fake fat pride.
You trademarked it?
Fake fat pride.
You trademarked that?
Sit your fake fat pride ass down with that fake shit. You're not happy being fucking fat. And you want to talk about, God. I mean, and yeah, okay. So, a couple of things. So, yeah. When you're talking about you're not supposed to be blah, 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 a lot of times people are talking about the BMI, right? Body mass index. That's been proven that that's bullshit, especially when it comes to people of color. Like some people, you know, like when you were saying before, like, oh yeah, back in the days, people were like being super small, being super skinny. Not in our neighborhoods. We was never into that shit. Like white people, sure, they was trying to be 80 pounds and this looks great. You lost your light, son. You're in the dark.
That's all right. I got it. Keep going. Keep talking.
Darkness is spreading. No.
Darkness.
But in our communities, we never was like, you know what I'm saying? We always had ass. White people just got put on to have an ass as a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just them. But my thing is, we do tend to get overweight, grossly overweight, diabetes, other things, high blood pressure, all this other shit happens because of that. And like you said, yeah, you were lucky. You were also way fucking younger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would say if you would have continued in that trajectory, right now, your age now, you would have all kinds of fucking problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, probably. But yeah.
I mean, I
say that all the time too.
You changed it at a good time. You know? So only thing I'm saying is that I feel like that shit is fucking fake, and people need to be real with themselves And about the whole bodybuilder shit. It's like, yeah, those dudes are grossly over fucking weight, and they do have a lot of fucking mass, and it's mostly muscle, and they bust their asses to look like that. That don't happen
Sure.
because they were sitting around eating ho hos and watching TV, and oh my god, I can't believe how big I got. No, those dudes are taking every fucking drug you can think of and the ones you don't even know
Right.
about. And they're
Right.
putting in 2-4 hours a day of fucking strength training like you can't fucking believe. They are breaking their asses to look like that. So of course they want to look like that. That is super hard to get to, and you can't do it without fucking drugs. So yeah, I mean that's a whole different thing. If you really just want to be super gross fat, like you take a sumo wrestler, right? Sumo
Right.
wrestlers want to be incredibly fat. It's actually hard for them to keep that weight on. They have to
Absolutely.
fucking eat tremendous amounts of food. That's a whole different thing. That's like, yo, I'm in this sport and I need to be big to move other
Right.
motherfuckers. That's and their diet is like regimen, and they have doctors and they look at them. I'm just talking about the regular person on the street, on social media, waving and dancing and got their fat all around and just like, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I'm like, all right, okay, cool. And then those same people, you see them a few months later, they lost a little bit of weight and they're so happy about it.
Yeah, but Drake, but everybody's full of shit on social media. Why you think we have all these people going, nah, come on, let's keep it a buck. Like, listen, everybody's going to get their body cut up. Everybody wears these stupid ass waist trainers. That's why I put it on the topic list. Like, a lot of people are not happy with their bodies. But if every time I open the app, I gotta see 12 half naked women because they're using waist trainers and taking flights out the country to Latin America to get diced up. What the fuck? Nah, son, you can laugh, but I'm keeping it a buck. Like, we gonna keep it a buck on the podcast or not?
Of course. I mean, I don't know anything.
All right, so then who's really happy though? And that's what I'm saying about all the fake pride. Like, you really on the fat shit. My shit is, but nobody's happy. Nobody's happy with their ass. Nobody's happy with their chest. Yo, there's dudes getting fake six packs. Fake six packs? Yo, I never had a six pack. One day I would love to have a six pack. It's a dream of mine. But I'm not gonna take a flight to Latin America to go get a fake six pack. What the fuck? It's all like, fake. Listen, everybody. Why you think when you open the app, everybody looks the same? Listen, on my page, I try to post all types of different women. Right on my Instagram story, I try to post at least 1 or 2 women a day to show appreciation to all different colors and sizes. But you know what happens when I go on the quote unquote discover page? Every fucking picture looks the same. I gotta be on the discover page for 20 minutes trying to find somebody who looks like a human being. Why? Because everyone's got a fucking waist trainer on, and everyone who doesn't have a waist trainer on went and got chopped up like a salad. That's why.
Just got Photoshop, which changes the complete game.
But Photoshop is the least of it at this point. Like, at this point, Photoshop is to make it look like this scar I have is not there, or like I'm more tanned than I should be. That shit is light work now. Like, maybe 10 years ago, Photoshop was the shit, but right now, Latin America is the shit. Right now, flights out the country to get chopped the fuck up is the shit. So listen, if I'm 60 pounds overweight and I gotta open the app and 39 bitches, excuse my language, who are diced up and got 8 million likes, yo, fuck it, I want some likes too. Let me throw a crop top on and say, yeah, look at me. I mean, honestly, and let's keep it all the way funky.
All right, so hold on.
Who would you rather have? Hold on. Who would you rather have? The anorexic chick, A. B, the super fake everything body chick, B. Or C, shorty who's like 50 pounds overweight but is super dope and don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Of course it's C. But what I'm saying is,
okay, so then this is what I'm saying. Yo, it's all fake.
But the person that's C is never falling into the fake fat bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know women right now who fall into that C category, but they go to the gym, they watch themselves. They're not putting themselves up there to be like, I like being fat. I like being fat. No, they're like, okay, yeah, I want to kind of get rid of this tummy a little bit. So I'm gonna watch my diet. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna work on that. I respect that. That's keeping it real. But what I'm talking about is the person who isn't, let's make it category D, where they're like, oh, yeah, I'm fat and I love being fat and
Oh
I'm
shit.
going to celebrate fatness every day and I don't care what I eat. Doritos, you're my friend. Pizza, we always
Doritos.
go out. Ice cream, give me more. Like, hey, there's some ice cream commercial I see with some big young lady who is just dancing around and eating ice cream and just like, this is great. And
Uh-huh.
don't get me wrong, like, I think it's dope the fact that I see the dancing around as like working out. Like, okay, you're doing something. You're not just sitting on your ass.
Okay.
But I feel like that same person, even if I know it's just a commercial, if she keeps it up and starts to lose weight,
She gonna hit the Slim Bob.
she's gonna be like, I love being this size, and I'm gonna try to keep this up.
Got it.
All right, we can move on, but
All right. I just think you said we could move on.
yeah, go ahead. Next topic.
Stalemate. Stalemate. All right. I mean,
Discuss.
yeah, I guess so. I guess we looking at it different. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just think like all this shit is fake. So let them rock. Like, and if you're happy within your limits and you're not like dying and shit, fuck it. Like, I think if the chick could be happy that went to DR, you could be happy too.
Oh, anybody can be happy, but do you think anybody? Okay, let's go to the other extreme. You think, okay, you want to look at the anorexic bitch? Yes, she's not happy. But the 600-pound bitch is not happy either. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what I said in the
to
beginning.
the right, so to the anorexic chick, you know, um, it's bullshit. Yes, if she's walking around being like, I'm 80 pounds and I love it, and you can see my ribs and everything. Like, yeah, I don't normally see that. They don't say that.
Okay.
They just walk around and be skinny. Okay? But
But that's what I'm saying. Society is honoring those women. Society is honoring the Instagram models. And they're not even models. That's just the name now. Instagram models. Go to DR, get your shit diced up. You know what I'm saying? Move the fat from here to there. All of that
I
transformer
think,
shit.
listen,
And they get 8 million likes.
in terms of surgery, if you want to go there, I fucking love it. It's your body. Do what the fuck you want to do with your body. Knock
Yeah.
yourself out. It's no different than the dude who wants to be 350 pounds pure fucking muscle. Do what you want to do, bro. What you taking steroids, you taking trend, you taking all this other shit to look the way you want to look. Knock yourself out. Oh, you going to DR and you're transferring fat to one place to another. Knock yourself out. It's your body. Yay, have a great time. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
The only thing I'm saying is the skinny chick on the side on this end of the spectrum. Um, I don't really see like pride in that, but I do hear what you're saying about society is doing it. Okay, but if some people are naturally skinny, no matter what they do, no matter what they eat, that's just how it is. But if
Right.
you feel like, hey, I'm not happy with myself being super skinny, there's things that you can do. If you're 600 pounds or near that other end of the spectrum and you're not happy being that way, there's things that you can do. But don't, and I feel what you're saying, no matter where you are in the spectrum, don't front on yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Don't front on
Yeah.
yourself and be like, oh yeah, I'm so happy about this. As soon as this is over, man, I'm going out and I'm just gonna eat. I love pork rinds. Doesn't matter. I eat whatever I want. I don't care because I love me, and that's the only thing I blah blah blah. Because like I said, from my experience, it's fake because that person is not being real with themselves. And when they do make that change, they never want to go back there. Just like
All
you
right,
did,
I
just
hear
like
you.
myself. I mean, I can show pictures of me being really big. I'm like, shit, I'll never go back there again. Fuck that.
Nah, but you're really big wasn't that big.
It was big enough. See, but it's like that's relative. To me, I knew that I could look way better than this. Like I knew
But
like
that's
this.
because you've been in martial arts and fitness for eons.
Yeah. And so when I see myself in a picture and I'm like, no, no. Or what I remember one wake up call for me was when a colleague of mine came over to me because this is a whole nother conversation because apparently with men you could just say whatever you want because we don't have feelings. So he just came over to me and just said, "Yo, son, how many months are you?" And I was
Oh,
like,
that's the classic. That's the
"Oh,
classic.
word." And I was
That's
like,
classic.
"All
Classic
right,
fat shaming right there.
I needed that. You know what?
Right.
Bite,
Thanks.
come to my hand.
Right.
Let me get on my shit." And
Right.
within a few months, I was like, "Oh,
Right.
you know what I mean?" But yeah, so
All right. Let me see what we looking like. Let's get into this. Yeah, we all right. We kind of deep dive. That was the longest time we was on one topic ever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. You gotta edit that. You gotta edit that. You know,
nah, we leaving all of that.
you gotta edit
Why we editing it?
because it's too much. You gotta like put it down.
Nah, it's never too much, man. Luther Vandross.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If that's how it flows, that's how it flows. I'm not going to edit it. Let that rock. There's 3-hour podcasts that they speak about the same shit for 3 hours. It's like for 3 hours, we just going to discuss Shaq. Was he the best rebounder ever or not? It's like, all right, we don't need to hear Shaq for 3 hours.
Right.
Anyway, let's get into the difference between weightlifting and bodybuilding. So, a lot of people who are actively fit or working to obtain goals, they're in the gym, they're lifting, they're trying to get gains, quote unquote. Yeah, you know that's
I
everybody's
love
favorite
that.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
That's the new.
yo, son, these gains though, nigga, these gains though. People cannot wait to put gains under any social media post.
Are you familiar? You
Like,
familiar with the Hodge twins?
nah.
Oh, so I feel like Hodge is incredibly like online famous. Like, they have mad subscribers, but they started doing this shit a long time ago. I feel like for me, they the ones that kind of started that. So
Okay.
if you look up Hodge twins, they got all these videos go back at least 10 years or whatever, and they're two brothers. They're obviously twins. They say
Uh
whatever they
huh.
need to say about fitness, and
And then they
then
say gains.
and they just be like, "Yo, we get them gains. Want some gains? Yeah, you here to get gains?" Shit was
That's funny.
hilarious. Yeah, yeah,
That's mad funny.
yeah.
All right, before we break it down, let me just take this asthma pump because there's no rain and I am running when we're done. So give me 1 second. Yeah, fuck that. I gotta run. Hold on 1 second. So yeah, let's break it down. The difference between weightlifting and bodybuilding. The question is, if I'm in the gym getting it, bam, bam, lat pull down, all type of fly shit. At what point does it go from weightlifting to bodybuilding? What are the differences along the way? Go through.
So everything, like anything else, is all about your intent, right?
Right.
So
Yep. I'm just setting a timer. I'm listening.
go through.
Go ahead.
The difference between weightlifting and bodybuilding is one's intentions. So
Okay.
if I'm coming into the gym and I'm like, I'm just trying to get strong, like I'm not
Okay.
strong enough. I'm just trying to get strong. Well, then I'm just weightlifting. I'm just
Okay.
lifting the weight. You know, I'm trying to get stronger, 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 stronger.
Right.
In your bodybuilding, you're trying to build a physique. It's like having, molding a body. It's like your body's like this clay, like this artwork, and you're trying to
Uh huh.
mold and shape it. That's a bodybuilder. So a bodybuilder looks at themselves and be like, got to get my legs bigger. Let me do things for that. oh, my back is not, my back could be a little bit more wider. Let me work on that. I could
Okay.
lose a little bit weight here. So you're crafting this shape of a body. Weightlifting just don't give a fuck about that. So you look like the difference of a body of like a bodybuilder, going on stage, and you look at the strongman contest,
Right.
right? These bodies look completely different. Strongman contest,
Okay.
these dudes are
Two
incredibly,
extremes again.
yeah, but I'm just using that to show a point.
Okay.
The strongman contest dude is concerned about strength. I need to pick this big shit up and put it on here.
Right. Be able to pull this truck.
Right. He probably has like a gut or whatever. You know, definitely don't have a six pack. Not concerned about
Right.
having six packs. He's
Right.
trying to eat as much as he can and gain as much muscle as he can so he can do more things with that muscle.
Right.
A bodybuilder is like, okay, I need to know how much calories I'm going in. I have to have a certain look. I might have to do an hour, 2 hours of cardio a day just to keep that down. I gotta keep my six pack. I gotta look lean in this area. They're looking at their entire body for a particular look, and they may not be all that strong. Some of them
Okay.
are, but they may not be all that strong. They may just, it's an illusion, right? You're trying to paint this picture. Right? You might
Right.
look at them and be like, "Yo, that motherfucker probably could lift all kinds of shit," and they may not. They may not go. They may not be trying to go heavy. They're trying to create. They're trying to keep a certain look, a certain
So
aesthetic,
you're saying that bodybuilding is more about sculpting,
sculpting, and aesthetics. Bodybuilding
aesthetics.
is about aesthetics, where weightlifting is about functionality, strength, functionality. If I could
So what if, let's
make
just
up
say,
terms and shit. Yeah.
why not? Everyone makes up stuff anyway.
Right.
And you've already coined fat people pride. Oh, fake fat pride. So why not keep making shit up? Why not?
Why not?
Cameron made a career off of that shit. Don't get me started.
You know how Brooklyn.
Anyway, huh?
So you know how Brooklyn mofos do. We always creating.
Well, we're innovators by nature,
right,
but
just keep
anyway.
putting shit out there constantly.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll just thug you into it. You know what I'm saying? Through this conditioning and this gangster, you're gonna start rolling with it.
Start saying this shit.
All right, but my question is, what about cats who? All right, so you're saying sculpting. So let's say, all right, I use a six pack example a lot. So let's use that. Let's say I want a six pack.
Right.
Right. So am I working to attain a goal, or because that's an aesthetic, am I a bodybuilder?
Because that's an aesthetic, you're getting more towards bodybuilding.
Mm.
Because you're
That's
saying
interesting.
Because you're saying to yourself, I want a six pack. You're saying, I want a certain look. I want to look this way. It doesn't mean you're not healthy, right? It doesn't mean you're not saying, hey, I want to go outside and run for 3 miles instead of 2. That's all that is performance stuff. You're not concerned about performance. You're concerned about a look. If getting a six pack is your top priority, it's now about a particular look, right? So performance may come second, third, or fourth, but if getting the six pack is your number one, then your priority is aesthetics. How do I look? You're some model shit.
On some model shit. That's interesting. So then I feel like a lot of people in the gym lean towards the bodybuilding side, because a lot of cats are in there like, man, I want my arms to look bigger, or I want my chest to look bigger, or I want my stomach to be flat.
Yep. Yeah, they are. And some people are in there for strength. Some people are in there because they do, let's say they do CrossFit and they want to compete in the next
But you don't consider CrossFit as a bodybuilding?
No, CrossFit is about performance. If you're into CrossFit, it's about performing. It's like, how many push-ups can you do? That's performance. Okay, how many pull-up you could do? That's performance. All CrossFit is about performing. Once you can perform particular things, you might look a certain way, but that's not your main goal. If you're into CrossFit, it's performing these tasks at a certain amount of time. That's a performance-based thing. Bodybuilding is about aesthetics, first.
Aesthetics first.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But like, all right, well, I guess I'll leave it there. I don't want to ask 21 questions.
Go through.
Well, I'm saying like some people, for example, if you say, hey, I want a flat stomach, and you're doing Zumba classes every day for an hour to get that flat stomach, is that bodybuilding?
But see, now
because I asked that, huh?
I'll say now we're talking, but go ahead.
Yeah, because bodybuilding is often associated with really heavy lifting. Bodybuilding is often associated with like, well, I only lift 80-pound dumbbells. When I get on the machine, I gotta lift as much as possible. So that's why I'm asking, because by default, that is what people associate with bodybuilding.
And that's why I put that topic there, because people are confusing the two, and because you're confusing the two, you don't truly know what your goals are. You have to first know, what is my goal? What do I want to achieve? If your a goal is a performance goal, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being like, yo, I can only do 30 minutes on the elliptical. I want to get it up to 100. That's a performance task. I don't give a fuck how my body looks. Am I going to have body changes? Yeah, but I'm not concerned about that. I'm trying to get my performance up. If I say to myself, I want a six-pack, then I got to do all the things that's about me getting a six-pack. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, how I'm performing is irrelevant. I'm just trying to stay in a caloric deficit. So I might say, hey, I'm going to fast, or I'm going to eat, low caloric foods all the time. I'm going to time my meals. I'm doing all this stuff because I'm trying to get into a deeper caloric deficit so that my abs can show. That's my number one goal. And cats be like, yo, son, what you bench? I don't give a fuck what I bench.
Right. Yeah, what you bench is irrelevant because you're trying to get the six-pack.
I'm trying to get the six-pack, baby. I don't care. Like, and you look at, I think the best example of this is fitness models. The dudes and women, the men and women who you see on the cover of like a fitness type magazine, Muscle and Fitness type of, those guys are not super big,
No,
those ladies
they're often pretty lean.
They're very lean, and if you ever like look up some of them and watch their workouts, they lift, but that's not their goal. They're not like, okay, today I'm trying to get in, I'm trying to do a PR, I'm trying to do like a 600-pound squat. That's irrelevant to them. No. I'm working out. I'm trying to maintain this body, or I might want to get a bigger chest or whatever. So they might do a little bit of something, but their goal is, how do I look, not how I'm performing. You know? Yeah.
That's interesting. That was a great topic, because that's something I think a lot of people don't think about in those same ways.
Right.
Like even me, I'll be honest, I associate bodybuilding with heavy lifting. Like when I see cats like, nah, I gotta lift the 80-pound dumbbell, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker one day bodybuilding bullshit, whatever. I'm gonna hit this elliptical. I see y'all later. Right. But I guess it's an interesting point. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just thought that's interesting. That was a good topic.
I feel like because people don't put, okay, what comes first? Because I think that as human beings, we want everything, right? It's like, yo, definitely. I want to look,
I do,
dope, crazy lean, and I want to perform like no mofo you've ever seen before.
Yeah, it's like that's true. I'm guilty of that. I sure am.
Trying to do both things, a lot of times one will get sacrificed for another. So I just feel like in terms of your goals, be honest with yourself. What comes first for you? You know what I'm saying? If the aesthetics comes first before the performance, then you got to do things putting the aesthetics first. If performance is what you're about, then okay, like you might see put like I'm thinking of like marathon
people
runners.
Who do triathlons.
Yeah, or marathon runners. It's like they might have abs, they may not have abs. They don't.
Yeah, they're not concerned with that. They're trying to run 20 miles.
Right. My girl Simone Biles, right? Might have abs, might not have abs. She's not thinking about abs. It's like, I need to do this routine and be the best at it. I need to flip this way and master this flip and blah blah blah. But how you feel about abs? She'll be like, I don't know abs.
Nobody give a fuck about that.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the dude? The swimming dude, Phelps. Remember him?
Michael Phelps.
Yeah, Michael Phelps. What was his goal? To be the fastest mofo in the water. Did he have abs? Yeah, but he was never waking up every day. I wonder how my abs. He didn't give abs. I'm trying to get faster. You know what I'm saying? I don't about no abs. Does it? Can it come while you're doing the other thing? Yes, but
sure. Yeah, some things are byproducts. Yeah.
Right. It was a byproduct. But if he would have never had abs and still had 6 fucking gold medals,
he wouldn't have cared about that.
Like, I'm good. Did you see me perform in the water? Yeah, but where's your abs though? Care about that shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Great topic. I like it.
No doubt.
Sweet. All right. I think we did enough for today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think, again, motorcycle exclamation point. You heard it?
Yeah.
I think we did enough for today. Vroom. You know what I'm saying? Throw it up. Throw it up. Do it up. You know what I'm saying? Probably the worst motorcycle impression ever. Holla. All right, folks. We'll be back real soon. Peace.
Boom.
And let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out. Let's roll out.